Yes, I do want you to forgive his ass.
Like, we so.
With friends like these, who needs enemies? No, who needs enemies? Because what the hell kind of advice is this? Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 27. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. We pick up with Anaya, Trinity, and Melanie having a conversation about Anaya's conversation with Casey. She says it went really well, and at the end of the day, Casey deserves to be with somebody who desires him, and all the women do agree, including Trinity, who was kind of hesitant. She's like, no, you right. Then they ask about her connection with Carl, and she says, honestly, we have a really good sexual connection. I said, oh, okay. And she was, I think she said, like, she was thinking about getting French fry, or maybe we're close to getting French fry. You know, we ain't gonna get this, too much fast food in this villa. Too much. Moving on. Casey says that things would have been better if he would have just been more transparent about how he was feeling. Absolutely. And that goes for plenty of people in this damn villa, not just him. Sincere identifies that within himself, that he needs to work on his transparency. Yeah, among other things, among so many other things, but we could start with transparency. I'm okay with that. Then we have Melanie, who's trying to draw a line. She's trying to draw a line regarding Sincere. And here are these girls just telling her, no, forgive him, try. Oh my gosh, horrible advice.
Do you think the conversation did anything?
Conversation is just words. I don't know what to do with that. I don't want to take him back. I don't think he deserves me.
Can't sleep with him with a pillow in between you?
Looks like I'm giving him another chance.
What's your heart saying?
I think you should follow your heart.
Is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? Y'all are telling me every time you've seen Melanie have a breakdown, you go and console her. You saw what you saw at movie night. You saw the duplicitousness coming from Sincere. And y'all are saying, yeah, fight for it. Yeah, try again. This reminds me of when Melanie was being consoled by Bea, and she was talking to Bea and Anaya, and she was like, no, guys, something is wrong. And they're like, no, nothing's wrong. He does like you. Like, the women of this season in particular are so keen to want to feed into the delusions that hurt their friends. Sometimes be delusional, okay? Success oftentimes is at the end of the road of delusion. But the delusion that hurts you, I hate that the girls constantly feed into it. Like, results may vary. And for Melanie, the results have not been great. Caleb is venting to Bryce and Trinity about his connection with Jaden. He just says, you know, she doesn't give me what I want, and I don't feel like she likes me. And if I was on the outside by now, I would have left, because I need a woman to really show me that she likes me. And listen, like I said before, this man maybe needs to go on farm or needs a wife. I ain't never even seen that show. Hopefully it's not problematic, but like, it probably is problematic, hey? Because y'all were laughing when I said that. Anyways, I'm sticking by what I said. The point is, he wants something that's a lot more serious than what he's receiving on Love Island. And I would have sided with him, like, venting right now, except for the fact that Jaden is literally an arm's length away. She's hearing everything he is saying, and instead of having the conversation with her, he's having it with everybody else. He's already aired this grievance in the morning. Now he's talking to somebody else when Jaden is right there. Go talk to Jaden.
Come chat with me instead of other people.
Are you mad at me going to talk to them to ask for advice?
You go 2 feet next to me.
Because I'm trying to get advice on it. Like, I had to say something.
So come to me and have this
This is the conversation I was wanting to have.
You want hugs. You want affection. What about the fucking connection? I don't want to just talk about a connection. I want to be in it.
I agree with Jaden when she was like, you are out here, you know, venting to people when your problem is with me. Come and talk to me. Caleb immediately was going to say, oh, so you're mad that I'm seeking advice? No. She's upset that you have a grievance with her that you're not airing with her. Go ahead and seek advice, that's fine, but nobody else can fix what's wrong in your relationship other than the people who are in the relationship. That should make sense, Caleb, should it not? So these two get heated, they're going back and forth, and basically she's like, I'm struggling to connect with you because all you want to do is check in on the connection, and we're having the same conversation over and over and over again. We're not going to get anywhere. And he's like, well, it's hard for me to want to open up because I'm not even sure that you like me. How can she like you if you are not opening up to her? She was very clear to say, I do like you, But this is like a roundabout conversation. I don't know anything about your family. I don't know about your upbringing. I don't know about your career. I don't know about anything. Because you just want to check in to see, do you like me? Do you like me? It could be because of what he experienced with Kenzie and also with Parmita. Maybe he too is struggling with this whole I just want to be picked thing. But truly, how are we going to get anywhere if we're not getting deep? Before bed, Melanie asked Corbin if she should sleep in the bed with Sincere. And he says, honestly, I can't answer that. And I've noticed something with Corbin over the last few episodes. He has this protection over Melanie. Even when, like before Casa Amor, when Kenzie was in the situation, of course he did fold. However, when he was coupled up with Melanie, he was like, honestly, out of respect for Melanie, I don't think it makes sense for me to be touching up on you and kissing you and all that kind of stuff. Like, I can't be doing that. Even at movie night, we saw how offended he was at Sincere's behavior. We saw how after the fact, he was the one who told Sincere to go sleep in soul ties, and he did not do that. Like, there's this protection over Melanie, and I'm thinking, damn, what a missed opportunity to see where that would have gone, because, oof, yeah, that started rough with Melanie and the drama with Corbin. But now I'm just like, wow, in another world, what could that have been? There's still time. I'm keeping hope alive. But anyways, Caleb is still venting about not being able to pour into Jaden because he's just not sure if she likes him. Again, how is she going to like you if she does not know you, Caleb? Come on now. Then we have Jen and Gall, who both say they want nothing to do with each other. Anaya says Melanie should forgive Sincere. This is why I said in the other video, like, why is she being so like soft and sweet to him? He wasn't showing up for you as a friend, and he definitely wasn't showing up as a partner for Melanie, and you have no smoke for this guy. She's constantly, team Sincere Melanie, team Sincere Melanie. For what? For what? They went through worse than what Casey and Anaya went through. And the fact that, in my opinion, some might not agree, and the fact that you're still rooting for that is just insane to me. Anyways, Melanie decides to sleep in that bed. They did not cuddle. They had a pillow in between them. In the morning, it kind of looked like they were closer than how they went to bed, but I don't know. They say they did not cuddle. In the morning, we have Caleb and Jaden who are back to kissing when he brings her breakfast. So I said, oh, we got over that one very quickly. The other girls are talking about not being able to force a connection. Shortly after, Gall comes up and he gives Amora some breakfast, and so he thinks there's a little bit of a chance there, and she's like, no, there's no romance. There's none at all. Melanie decides that she's gonna go make her own breakfast, and Anaya and Kata are saying, no, don't do it. You're gonna get your breakfast, right? Anaya is going to say, no. Sincere got you. You gotta focus on Sincere. Kata for a moment, and I was like, okay, Kata, I'm with you. Kata for a moment was like, can we just be Team Melanie's feelings? I was like, yeah, I agree. And then I was like, yeah, I am for Melanie's feelings. If she says, fuck that man, then fuck that man. But she been saying that. I guess she doesn't really have much conviction when she says it, but she has been saying it. And sometimes your friends aren't going to say the things that they need to say. So as a friend, you got to be the one to stand in the gap and to say, I know how you're feeling, but I know that you 6 months from now is going to regret the decision that you're making today. Trust me, he's not the one. Child, even the faith I had in Kata completely disappeared because 5 minutes later, she was singing a different tune.
If I want to be fucking Team Sincere, I'm going to be fucking Team Sincere.
Is everybody dressed?
Yeah.
Shut up. Why does he have a rose?
This is so cute.
Well, this is for you.
Bitch, I'm Team Sincere. I'm Team Sincere. I'm Team Sincere.
This is so cute, Lovey. Well, I appreciate this.
It's nice having breakfast together.
It takes 6 weeks, you pursuing 2 other connections, you blatantly lying in Melanie's face for weeks, you getting cussed out multiple times for you to finally want to do something romantic for Melanie. Those times that you said you would prove to Melanie that you were serious about her, you didn't even resort to this. Nothing close. She said this is the first time he had done something like this. It took all of that for you to find. This is how toxic relationships are formed, you guys. People don't want to remember all the mistreatment they had experienced throughout the relationship, but they want to latch on to these little moments, these little glimmers of hope, these little glimmers of romance that are few and far between, and just completely throw caution to the wind. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Melanie's going to say it's going to take more than one day. It's not. You're already back in his pocket. We see at the end of the episode, they're already holding hands and rubbing shoulders. Oh my God. I was just like, this is so depressing to watch. Caleb and Jaden apologize to one another. They say that they should not have gotten so heated the night before. And they do agree that their communication does need some work. I'm glad they had this conversation because it's salvageable. It's not a complete write-off. I never expected to see Caleb, raise his voice. That felt like, I don't know, it felt so foreign, but yeah, I think that they needed to have a very confronting moment. I don't have faith that they will last, but they'll try, I guess. Then we have Jen, who says that she's frustrated that everybody's booed up and she just hasn't had that experience. I mean, she kind of did with Gabriel, but he was voted out. So yeah, looking around at everybody is just making her feel like, damn, I did not get to have the Love Island experience that everybody else got to have. I don't even think you wanted to have their experiences, babes. It wasn't great. She then ends it by saying, honestly, in the real world, I hate men. I say that all the time. So I'm just waiting for my turn. And I know that's a common saying. I know that is a common saying. However, I think sometimes people don't realize the things that they project onto others. So if you have a disposition of, I hate men, I hate men, I hate men, sometimes that can seep into the way that you approach men. I'm not saying that's necessarily what happened here. It could just be the selection of men not really rocking with you, but we need to be cognizant of the things that we say because they can come out in the way that we act. The villa gets a text that there's going to be a recoupling in the evening. Everybody's talking to their connection to see who they're going to pick. Most of them are obvious. The only one that's up in the air is Gaul. So Gaul was talking to Jen and Jen was honest, maybe too honest. And she said, it really frustrates me that I brought you in and I might get out because of you. I said, ooh, girl. So then Gaul talks to Amora and he's like, yeah, I don't know if she's, speaking to me now because she's worried about going home and stuff. And she's like, I'll be honest with you. She be dogging you. In that dressing you, she talks smack about you all the time. I said, Amora, you don't even like the man like that. So why are you fighting to stay in the villa? If she was to stay in the villa, who the hell would she talk to? Apparently she had a little thing for Caleb. We ain't seen her talk to Caleb not one time. So I was like, what's the meaning of this? I mean, she's correct, but I don't think there was a point in saying that. Then Gaul is going to vent to the guys. He's like, yeah, Amora did say that to me, but is she just saying that to stay? So your plan didn't even work, Amora. He's questioning you as well. At the recoupling, Bryce picks Trinity, Zach picks Kada, Corbin picks Parmita, Dylan picks Kenzie, Carl picks Anaya, Casey picks Tiara, Sincere's jolliest picks Melanie, Caleb picks Jaden, and Gull picks Amora, meaning Jen is single and dumped. She's not the only girl getting dumped yet. All the Islanders have to vote for who they think is the least compatible. They have to do it in each other's face, and I think that's part of the reason why the votes were the way that they were. I do think that Gull and Amora are an easy vote. However, typically when these couples have to vote for who they think is least compatible, they do it anonymously by sending a text. And I think if it was anonymous, there would have been a higher probability that Melanie and Sincere would have got more votes, or maybe Kenzie and Dylan would have got more votes. That's just my theory. I could be wrong. So Ariana lines everybody up around these little podium things, and she reminds them that this is about compatibility, not about friendship. Ariana, girl, you know that that's not going to be the case, okay? So first was Anaya and Carl. They vote for Amora and Gull because they're a friendship couple, and Jaden and Caleb because they've had bumps in their journey. I said, that's some bullshit if I've ever heard it. If we're making a vote based on having bumps in the road, there are a good 3 other couples who need to be voted out before Jaden and Caleb. Please come up with a different reason and not one that just protects your friends, because no. I was like, don't use that rationale. I didn't like that. Then we have Trinity and Bryce. They vote for Amora and Gull because they were paired up by default, and Jaden and Caleb because things seem one-sided. That I can agree with. Jaden and Caleb vote for Amora and Gull, obvious reasons. And Kenzie and Dylan because Kenzie's words don't hold much weight. And Dylan says he was kind of blindsided by that vote. He didn't think that Caleb believed that about their couple, but you were just crying about your couple the other day. Next was Kenzie and Dylan. No, I just said that. No, I didn't say that. Kenzie and Dylan vote for Amora and Gull, and Corbin and Parmita because they lead with lust. Kenzie is going to be haunted by that damn word. She cannot stand that. Listen, the girl don't even know what it means, but she be pointing at everybody talking about lustful, 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 lustful. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Parmita speaks up and she's like, we're not lustful. You don't get to see the intimate parts of our relationship. And honestly, I'm starting to feel like that's true because throughout this episode, Parmita was making a lot of sense. And I said, oh, she's a smart cookie. Okay. Corbin does believe that they were voting out of spite, but Kenzie denies that. Okay. Parmita and Corbin, they vote for Amora and Gall, and then they vote for Melanie and Sincere. I said, oh, okay. So Corbin, I have my feelings about you, but you might be top guy right now to me. You might be top guy. You might be top guy. Yeah. Because I respect people who can stand on business. Truly, I do.
The hardest decision I had to make tonight. I just felt backstabbed after movie night. We've all been a little bit lied to. Cherish respect from the people I trust.
That's a fair point.
So Corbin is going to say, the way that you treated your partner was absolutely like insane to me. I almost feel betrayed by what you did because we did not know how crazy you were moving with these women. And out of everybody who's hurt their partner, you have done it the most. You're the least compatible. I said, wow. Yup. Sincere could only take it. He had nothing to say. He was like, yeah, the arguments are valid. I get it. I hear it. And then Parmita. Oh, Parmita. Girl, you might be growing on me too. Yeah. Parmita was like, listen, Melanie, I don't think you deserve to be in this relationship. It clearly is toxic, and it would be wrong for me to say that this is something that you should fight for. Melanie's then going to say, honestly, I think Parmita's just coming from a place of love, and this is what I would like to hear from a friend. This is what I would like to hear from a friend. Trinity, Kata, Anaya, I'm looking at y'all. Because there is no reason for these women to keep supporting Melanie and Sincere being together. There's simply no reason. I get it. Y'all want to be like, they don't know that there's this big core four, campaign, but I'm sure they feel it within themselves that like they're the core four. And if they can all have their boys, it's going to be great. But as a friend, you have to look your friend in the eye and say, this ain't it. And it took Parmita saying that. Crazy. Next was Amora and Gall. They vote for Jaden and Caleb because they want different things and they're struggling to communicate. They also vote for Melanie and Sincere. Because they're in a toxic cycle. Melanie and Sincere vote for Amora and Gall because they're in a friendship. And Kenzie and Dylan because they believe that Kenzie is settling. Oh, Kenzie did not like that at all. Kenzie was like, I never even gave you a second thought because you're my friend. And this is not supposed to be about friendship.
I didn't even give them a thought, so it hurts.
If it wasn't for everybody criticizing you, you would have kept exploring. That's just me being honest because you consider me one of your best friends.
I don't agree with that at all.
You didn't even want to be with that man for real. You wanted to explore. Kenzie was upset, but I rate it. Yes, Melanie, you go, girl. Absolute facts. And also, Kenzie, you ain't been close to Melanie for a long periodically time. From that time that she threw a fit about Melanie and Corbin being together, I think Melanie started to distance herself. Kenzie really did the distancing when her blonde friend came in. But Melanie from that moment knew, this ain't my friend. Them other girls you gotta look at too, but definitely Kenzie is not her friend. Also, and I kept meaning to say it, did you guys notice at movie night that Melanie kept sitting like this? Trying to be comforted by Anaya and wanting nothing to do with what Kenzie got going on. Kenzie's arm was on Melanie the whole time, but it looked like Melanie has been done with Kenzie. Next was Casey and Tiara. They vote for Amora and Gall, who were already guaranteed to be dumped. And this was hard for Tiara because Amora is her friend. And Kenzie and Dylan because they also think that Kenzie was settling. But this time around, Kenzie's like, oh yeah, I understand the reasoning. They gave the same reasons as Melanie and Sincere. Okay, fine. And last was Kata and Zach. They vote for Amora and Gall and Jaden and Caleb because they've been at odds since Casa Amor. This means Amora, Gall, Jaden, and Caleb are leaving the villa. As the girls are saying goodbye, Titi says, I don't really have many friends outside of the villa, so this is really sad for me to see you go. She starts to cry. Parmita starts to cry, and I'm like, aw. This is kind of sad, but that's typically the fate of the Casa people. They don't last long after Casa. You really have to make an impact to last past Casa on the US version. On the UK version, because it runs for longer, there's a higher chance for them. But US, it's rough. Then we see that America gets to vote for who they think is the most compatible. We know that people are just going to vote for their favorite people. Watch Melanie and Sincere be in the top. Ugh. Yeah, let me know who you're voting for, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to try again to go live on Sunday. I should be free, so we can talk about After Sun and things to expect for the week to come. So until then, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.